I'd like to call the work session meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Romanek?
Here.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Here.
Commissioner Sui?
Here.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Here.
Commissioner Casabun?
Here.
May you please rise to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975, was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
There are none, Mayor.
Presentations.
Yes, we have a presentation by Refusion Recycling.
You go to the podium, please.
Is it coming up on the screen? Is that what it's going to do?
I don't know. Is it coming up on the screen?
I think
No.
we just have physical. It's going to be just like.
So, hi, thank you everyone for coming and facilitating this meeting. And I'm gonna start with who I am and where do I want to, who I want to be, right? Because I mean, I'm over 40. I've been in the recycling business for 17 years. And so who I am is, I came to the States in 1990s from Shanghai. I was born in Shanghai. I was, came with my parents. At first, I went to New York City at age of 12. And somehow, I didn't do well in school. So I started my own business when I was 19. So I started very early. I've been in 10 different industries. And there's, a lot of, make a lot of mistakes, lose a lot of money. But there's two businesses actually I'm doing pretty well. One is e-commerce. Another one is recycling. So I think a little bit background. I mean, we were like tackling the printing supply recycling matter, because in 2006 we feel this e-commerce is going to boom, and everyone paying for the ink cartridges, the price is just too high. When anybody go to the Best Buy buy Epson ink cartridges, it charge us like $18, and there's very little ink inside, right, with the plastic shell, and you can't even refill them. So we feel like, what? Let's in the initial stage we came out with a compatible cartridge. So we kind of go around their patents, and we make the ink cartridge, you can refill them, and also you can reset the circuit boards. So with that saying, we sold for 2 years, and Epson kind of like pounding us with the lawsuit, saying we have patent infringements, and which I have a lot of public information. I mean, Fortune 500 company have sued me based on the recycling part, because I was trying to recycle their original cord and to refill the ink. So my belief is, number one, these giant corporate companies, they only produce waste. They don't care about how to deal with them at the end of life. So we came about a lot of technology to remanufacture them. Basically is, we manufacture them and refill the ink cartridges and reset the chips. So I think, those are the things I'm very proud of. Actually, at that time, we were working with the New York City Economic Development. It's EDC. And our facilities in Brooklyn Army Terminal. So New York City gave us starting 20,000 square feet in 2009, and they charging us 20% of the rent of the space. But they asking us to create 20 jobs, right? So at the end, 3 years the operation, we ended up creating 250 jobs at the location. So they kind of give me, some type of honor, because, but but in the 7 years of manufacturing, it really, I felt, in recycling, it changes you how, you just do the right thing, and as in manufacturing, it kind of changed you a person. Because in manufacturing, it's not running a business, it's not doing a trading company. It's just endless of, problems you have to tackle. Along with 250 employees, you become not a small businessman. You become with an individual with a tremendous of pressure because there's 250 families actually working with you. So I'm just giving you guys a little bit background why I have to achieve in New York City. So we focus in printing supplies. Even we have our, company doing right now. It's called Easy Ink, right? We still have the facility in Brooklyn Army Terminal, and we have a warehouse in 107 Trumbull Street, which is in Elizabeth. So, that business, it's been 20 years, since 2006. Yeah, 2006, we started the business. And I want to tackle a new problem. Is the printing supply is shrinking. The market is shrinking due to the technology, the whole digital scans, or the PDF online, emailing. So I feel, I want to tackle a new problem, which is the solar panel recycling. And so for the past 20 years, I've been focusing on printing supply. Now I want to focus on renewable energy. So solar panel would be the first material and the product I want to tackle on recycling. And second one, I want to focus on the EV charging battery recycling. Why? Because 90% of the solar panel is going landfill right now. Actually, in New Jersey, PSE&G, they just dump into Pennsylvania. So that's why Governor Murphy had a commission, like a solar recycling commission established, and to facilitate and expedite the permitting issue and encouraging business to recycle the solar panel instead of sending to Pennsylvania and put it in the landfill. And for solar panel, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but I bought a small sample. So basically we have aluminum frames, right? That's metal. And we have tempered glass, and we have solar cells in the middle. And we have a layer of EVA, another layer of back sheets. It's more like a sandwich, laminated together by high heat. So with this type of structure, and also we have a junction box, which is the connection for the electricity. So the problem is the landfill, this is not gonna dissolve. This is not gonna, even though, I think a lot of, we just spoke to the county level, the waste management, and they said it was brutal when they have to process some solar panels. They're trying to take off the metal because these aluminum, especially aluminum and copper, right now is strategic, right, to our country. It's precious. It's strategic metal, right? We have to utilize. So they're trying to take off the frame, and the sheet with the tempered glass, there's no way because everything is laminated, right? So hard. So just imagine that material, if we put it into a landfill, it's not gonna budge, because glass and the plastic, everything bonding together, it's gonna stay there for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. It's just maybe deteriorate a little bit, but it's just because the whole solar panel manufacture is you sandwich together airtight to prevent like 25 years, 30 years of harsh weathers. So they're gonna stay. Landfill definitely is gonna, it's not gonna do anything, right? So this is the problem I want to tackle, and I feel, being in the recycling business for 20 years for printing supplies, it's kind of you are the person want to tackle some problems in your capabilities. And I guess my capability and interest is still in the recycling. And, and so this is the problem, and I want to be laser focused as well. I kind of want to focus, the next, maybe I'm getting older, I'm 50 now, maybe another 20 years into the solar panel renewable recycling. I hope I can accomplish some results and have some contributions. And so this is who I am. To add on, other who I am is, I kind of like manufacturing. I'm like a tech-savvy guy. I like to because I like to do R&Ds. I like to innovate and to really have mechanic automations and developing machines, and to better process, safer process. So yeah, I with the printing supply business, I think we are the I think there's two companies. One is called Clover Technology. They are the world's largest solar panel, printed cartridge recyclers, and they work with us as well. I think we are the second largest in the United States. So basically, not much people doing it, but we are the only few doing that. But the market shrinks significantly. So that's why, again, I'm pivoting to solar panel recycling. And okay, let me see who. What else? What about me? So, yeah, I'm also very community driven. At the COVID time, there's if you go Instagram and stuff, you're gonna see some of the photo. We and Brooklyn Angels, we teamed together. We raised $800,000 for the PPE for the front line of policemen, officers, and also for the EMS and for fire departments. And at that time, we have a big challenge. It was the dangerous time. Nobody wanted a store. No warehouse wanted to open. So the 800,000 PPE, we have no place to put and no place to distribute. So what I did, with my family support with my wife and my kids, I cleared out all my garage in Brooklyn House in the back, and I stored 800,000 PPE in my garage. And all the EMS, fire department, police officers, they was lining up in my backyard and picking up the stuff. Because at that time, everybody is panicking. Nobody wanted to see anyone. So there's some Instagram. If you guys look it up on the Brooklyn Angel, and you guys gonna see me with a mask in the back with my Brooklyn House garage doing that. So for me, I think family comes first, community comes second. And if you do those two things right, if you do the right things, I think you're in the right place doing the right thing. It's gonna pay it off one way or other. So I think I just like to tackle problems, tackle the industry problems, and if you create value in the industry and value, you're gonna make money as a business. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much who I am, what I did, and where I want to go. And the reason, I want to add one more thing. The reason I want to come to Millville is, because I actually bought a property in Vineland because I have, I have residential properties in Brooklyn, and there's a lot of, policy. And because I moved to East Brunswick in the Middlesex, so I feel like, I'm not a good landlord because I am busy with business. And when I say I'm not good with landlord, is people just doesn't pay the rent, and the New York law just doesn't enforce it. So I figured that's not my, so I'm like, let me sell the property. So I did a 1031 exchange. I bought a commercial property in Vineland. The reason I picked Vineland and Millville, I even went to Bridgeton. I did a lot of research because, here we have a glass community, which there's a big, right? They create bottles, and our solar, let me open this. The material we recover from a solar panel, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is the glass. And the glass in the solar panel is extremely high quality. The reason why is it's pure white, because they want the light to be reflect and directly hit the solar cell to generate power. So if we set a recycling facility here and they're sending to bottling company, or if they put it in the furnace, melt it down to make another glass product. Number one, this is definitely reduce the carbon footprint. Second, we can reduce the logistic part. So we don't have to, ship glass cullets from California to Vineland or to Millville. We can just do on the spot. And another reason, I like, the 200G, the place is because it was a glass manufacturer. And I look at the moment I step in, I look at the power substation. I'm like, okay, this is where I want to be. The reason why is I had a deal, didn't go through. I'm not blaming anyone, but it's in Ohio. It's in Lorraine. We were supposed to sign a 25-year lease agreement with Republican Steel. It's right next to U.S. Steel. So at that time, Japan wanted to acquire U.S. Steel. And all of a sudden, a few months later, our administration president said, we're going to put a tariff on the steel. So at that time, we've been negotiating with Republican Steel in Lorraine, signing the 25 years lease. We even had a partner tenant, which is the Oracle, because half of the space we're going to rent it to Oracle for their data center, because all the AI generation, because we have 300 megawatts of the substations. So we already like have, the subtenants, everything is on, but the moment the president said, we have a steel tariff, and I think they just pulled the plug because they might want to re-engage the steel industry. Before they was trying to decommission all the machines and, we're going to rent it. So we even have like a manufacturer line up because I have other partners. We want to make Lorraine, and that they have 500 acres. They even have their ports. They have a lake, they have ports. And we wanted to make a clean tech renewable energy industrial park. So we have investors in the renewable energy, doing solar panels, we're doing battery packs, people doing the tempered glass. We have the power to do furnace. We can make the flow glass, we can temper them, and it's like a close the loop system. So I'm like, I'll be the recycler. You guys be my downstream and my client, and we make the new product, and we recycle them at the same spot to eliminate the logistics. It just makes total sense. And we even negotiate with the electric power to 4 cents per watt, per kilowatts in Ohio. Obviously, that's the lowest what they can go. So, unfortunately, that didn't go through. But I did find from the 200G, they have a 100 megawatt power substation. So I think, it's not as significant as 300 megawatts, but I still believe there's, other strategic, investor I can kind of pull in if the town likes it, right, what we do. It's a clean tech, renewable. I think it's still it's a trending future for us, right, regardless of nuclear or I think what can be better, right? If from sun can generate power, there's a no-brainer. So, to me, I think with 100 megawatt substation, I think there's a few of the investor I kind of can go back. The same investor in Ohio. So back then, the business model is very simple. It's like I be the recycler. They do individual products, and I just facilitate to, because a lot of investors come from international, and sometimes they don't feel comfortable getting to a new area, and they just worry about compliance. They worry about a lot of other issues. And I told them, you know what? I be the sample of going there first, set up the place, making sure everything's okay. You guys can come along. So I think, at that time in Ohio, we estimated with all the solar panel, EVA, all the aluminum frames, all the glass, we come to 2,000 jobs we can create in Ohio. And, the state side give us 30% on the equipment cost as not like a rebate, but tax incentive. But so, again, maybe here, I'm looking at 200G. I don't know how many acres, but I comfortably think, I think we can bring at least over 1,000 jobs, at least half, right? I think it has over 200 acres. I don't see the borderline because there's some different sections. So, that's why I think it's possible. So I just want to hear the council members and the mayor and see what how you view solar panel recycling. So it's basically like a Class D. So in my printing supply, what we need a certification is called R2. R2 stands for responsible recycling. So with R2, we have to have ISO 9000. We have to have OSHA for safety, and it basically a standard type of a set of certifications you have to kind of achieve to obtain the R2 certifications. So in Jersey, that's for New York, but in Jersey, I see we have this Class D. So I guess we're going to obtain the Class D. So we're going to focus on solar panels first, And we're gonna, at this, a lot of solar farms, we do have inverters as well. So we're gonna, obviously we're gonna recycle the inverters, and also we're gonna, recycle the racking systems. And racking system, they have trackers which they follow the sun. Some of them are fixed, and also we, they have cables. So this type of thing, and from our team and working with DEP and EPA, so it falls under a Class D permit. So basically, I guess on the top level perspective, I guess who we are is a Class D recycler, I guess. So I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah. Anything else you want to add? I mean, this is my first time, and normally I'm getting a little bit nervous, but I'm trying to answer, tell you guys who I am, but you guys, if you guys can, there's a different material we recycle. I can put it here if you guys there's copper, right? And there's copper, there's aluminum, and also there's silicon powder, right? The silicon powder in the solar panel, it's 6-9 purity. So everyone knows the pure gold is what? How many nines? The pure gold is 3 nines, right? The pure, normally the ring, the gold. Yeah. So in the silicon powder, it's semiconductor material. So semiconductor material, the chipsets in our phone is 12 nines. The purity is 12 nines. In the silicon wafer, what we call is a wafer or solar cell, is 6 nines. So it's still considered a semiconductor material. So these are the powders, we from separating it, and inside that silicon powder, it has silver. So obviously, recovering silver, right? It needs. Obviously, we have a downstream. We send it to them. But I'm just saying this because these are the critical minerals. If we want to build our own supply chain for the U.S., we got to do it. We got to do it in the U.S. We recycle our own material. Number one, as a New Jersey state level, we should pick up our own, right? SREC. We have an SREC program for solar incentives. So there's a lot of SREC is going to hit the time within 2 years. So it's going to expire, and there's a wave of solar panel is going to be recycled. And I don't think we should send it to Pennsylvania and put it in the landfill. We should do it ourselves. And we are capable of doing it ourselves. And we just need to do more efficiently and more a better way, and to recover the purity. And a lot of, a player in the recycling, I'm not pointing fingers, but there's a lot of recycling company in the U.S. right now for solar panel. They're just doing tradings. I'm telling you, they just buy in, they sell it to the downstream, sell it to Africa they wipe it clean, and nobody's doing the real thing. And I don't know, I know why, because it's a quick money. It's just, you don't need to really get dirty or maybe it's not that dirty, but I'm just saying it's a clean tap recycling, but nobody want to work that hard. But if they can just swap and clean it and let Africa people to deal with it, do I want to do that? Yes. I would like to inspect them, and I would like to, if the solar panels still have, right, 65, 75 of efficiency, if we have the lifespan, yes, we want to reuse them. Maybe not sell it, right? Maybe we can donate to, right, some church around the community first. That's what, right? Let's work with the community what we need, and we think elsewhere later on. So, I think definitely there are a reuse part for the solar panels, but I think we should kind of. I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna do the recycling in Millville, there's a lot of churches. We can maybe just lower the electricity bill as being a one of the solution for energy, reducing energy consumptions. So yeah, I just want to point that out. And obviously these critical minerals like silver, tin, coppers, it's valuable. It's critical, and we need to rebuild our rebuild some supply chain. And again, the reason here is the glass. It's heavy. Once I take it off, I can just strip into it's high quality glass. I can get it off pretty easy. And that's the reason why I pick Bridgeton. I look several places. I look at Bridgeton, the 7-Up building. I don't know if you guys know. I look up the city, Bridgeton City has a recycling plant. It was on fire. They were talking to me, want me to invest over there. Vineland, I bought a property. Yeah, I mean, and I just one of my friends just introduced this 1200G. They said they have big powers because everywhere I go, I just ask, what is the capacity of the substations? Because not only me being there, because I want to build a closed loop industrial park. I wanted to attract, people, everyone in the same industry. We can kind of close the loop, so we can reduce the material reduce the carbon footprint by, right, one glass shipping all the heavy glass to another state ships to the EVA to, right, South Carolina, go to Florida, then, it's just a lot. I think, it should be one product, it should be make under one roof, and maybe recycle under one roof, and you reuse under the one roof. But, I mean, that's the carbon footprint, And we also actually trying to, James is going to a DCOP event in 7 World Trade tomorrow. So we have the high education. How many schools we have? Like we have Rutgers, we have all the MITs. So we're trying to engage all the high education schools, trying to do a blockchain material trace. So basically from a solar panel as a new panel, so they have a barcode, when they use, when they decommission, when they separate the frames, the material, where do they go? It's kind of like the whole track of material. Because, we kind of wanted to, not only do the recycling, right? We also wanted to show the carbon footprint of what we achieved. We want to show data, what we have achieved. How many, because for aluminum, from mining, right? From mining, making aluminum, to make a new aluminum versus we recycle the aluminum, it's 92% carbon reductions. That means what? We only need to take 8% of the energy to make a recycled aluminum. Just think about that, right? That's massive. That's a massive energy and that's a massive waste, right? The way I look at it is, as New Jersey, I feel like we should, tackle with our, SRAC programs, all the decommissioned solar panel. We should do ourselves. We definitely don't want to, sniff it and just send it out. And number two is, I'm the solution. I can help New Jersey to do it. And I'm confident, and I'm working with all the Jersey universities. And, even, university from, there's another university, ROWER, right? There's Rowland, yeah. There's a lot of young generations, like, besides, because there's a lot of young generations of tech people, if they're interested in clean tech recycling, if they're into machine automation or robotics, we can definitely work with the school and create new programs and let new generation have another like interest or passion like industry, right? I just feel like there's a lot of possibility working closely with the community. It's just a lot of possibility we can do and contribute to the recycling and tackle the solar panel. It's gonna boom. It's gonna boom in 2028. Everyone's gonna talk about the panel, the landfill. Trust me, our data is already shown us, and that's why we start ahead of time.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Very informative.
Thank you. I'm a little bit nervous, so I don't know
That's-
if I
that's
say
a-
something not supposed to, but
No, you're perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Questions from the board? Anybody? Thank you for your presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Public comment on agenda items only. If anybody from the public would like to comment on the agenda items, please go to the podium, state your name, address your concerns. Seeing nobody, I will close public comment on the agenda items only. Discussion of commissioners. Commissioner Hewitt, go ahead.
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Sui.
Nothing at this time.
Commissioner Costello.
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Watson.
I think I'll just save it for the regular meeting.
And I'll follow suit and just say the same thing as well. New business, seeing none. We have now reached the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone from would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name, address your concerns, comment on the refusion recycling guys if you'd like to. And please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes. Mary Messick, go ahead.
Yeah, Mary Messick here of Millville. As far as the recycling goes, it sounds like it's a winner. Not just on paper, not just in a presentation, but in the long run. Because there's been multiple commercials out showing that various products get recycled and get made into other products. We know that certain products don't dissolve in a short period of time. Sometimes it takes forever. And none of us are going to be around for that long of a time for it to dissipate and decompose. What they're offering, or at least in my knowledge of what they've said, they're offering a way of creating jobs, bringing revenue to the city, which we need, which will also give us ratables. Plus, on top of that, we're going to cut down on fossil fuel. We're creating energy, which is something we all need, because unfortunately, AI is sucking up the majority of our electrical energy. And this would be a way of at least seeing to it that we can have the energy so that we can have our lights. We can have various things that are generated through energy, electricity. That's all I've got to say to that one.
Thank you, Mary. Seeing no one else, I'll close the public comment portion. Closing comments of commissioners. Anything further? Resolution, seeing none. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Make motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.